أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك أن تجعل عملي هذا خالصا لوجهك الكريم اللهم انفعني بما علمتني وعلمني بما ينفعني وزدني علما رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to my Arabic class, lesson number 12. We have been studying Jumla Ismiya. We said that there are two kinds of sentences in Arabic, a Jumla Ismiya, which is a nominal sentence, and a Jumla Fi'liya, which is the verbal sentence. In terms of Jumla Ismiya, we said if the first word in the sentence is a noun, then that sentence will be a Jumla Ismiya. In terms of Jumla Fi'liya, we said if the first word in the sentence is a verb, that sentence is a Jumla Fi'liya. If the first word is a particle, we will temporarily ignore that word and then see what is the next word. Is it a noun or a verb? And thereby decide if it is a nominal sentence or a verbal sentence. And then when we have decided that our sentence is a nominal sentence, we have to look for two things, Mubtada and Khabar. We talked about this in detail in a previous lesson. We said Mubtada is generally supposed to be the first noun, which is ma'rifah, and it is in rough status. And khabar, we said it comes later. Khabar, we said, is of three types. Broadly speaking, it is khabar mufrad, khabar shibhu jumla, or khabar jumla. If my khabar is a khabar mufrad, it will be a noun that will come later. It will be nakira generally, and it will be in rough status. If the khabar of the sentence is a shibhu jumla, that means two things. Either the khabar is a jar majroor construction, or it is a dharf. Lastly, if the khabar is a jumla, then the khabar will have a whole sentence. So there will be a Jumla Ismiya within which we will find another Jumla. That Jumla could now be a Jumla Ismiya or a Jumla Fi'liya. Since these concepts need a lot of practice, so what we have today is some practice, inshallah. In the beginning, these are phrases. So they're not complete sentences. But the reason I brought these is I don't want us to forget our phrases and mistake them for sentences. So let's look at our phrases again. Ilahun wahidun is a murakkab. It is mawsuf sifa. One deity, one God. Huwa Allahu. Now, anytime I'm given some words, I have to first come to understand whether this is a murakkab or a sentence. How will I do that? I will first eliminate the murakkabat. Huwa Allahu, does it look like any of the murakkabat I studied? It's not mawsuf sifa, it's not idafa, there is no harf of jar, harf of nasb, there is no ism ishara. This is not a murakkab, so this is my sentence. Now my second job will be, is it a jumla ismiya or a jumla fi'liya? To decide that, I will look at the first word, which is huwa. Is this word a noun or a verb? Huwa is a pronoun, and all pronouns come in the category of nouns. They are ism. So this is a jumla ismiya. The next step, if this is a jumla ismiya, I have to look for mubtada and khabar. Mubtada is the first noun, which is ma'rifah and rough status. Huwa is the first noun. It is ma'rifah because all pronouns are ma'rifah. Its status, I'm assuming, is rough. So huwa is my mubtada. Then what is my khabar? Khabar will come later, generally. It should generally be a nakira noun in rough status. The next noun I'm seeing is lafzul jalala. It is a ma'rifah noun, it's a proper name, but it is in rough status. So I said khabar has generally is nakira, but sometimes can be ma'rifah. So actually lafzul jalala is my khabar. The last thing I will do is I will decide what kind of khabar this is so I don't miss out anything. This is a khabar mufrad. Khabar mufrad is it's not a shibhu jumla, it's not a jumla, rather it's a word or a construction that can also come as a khabar mufrad. So the translation then is He is Allah. This is my sentence. Huwa mubtada, lafzul jalala, khabar mufrad. Now let's look at the next one. Huwa Qur'anun Majidun. Huwa Qur'anun Majidun. First I decide if Huwa Qur'anun, is this any kind of murakkab? No, it's not. So this is probably a sentence. Then I'm looking for my mubtada and khabar. Huwa again is mubtada. So to keep it simple, for our purpose, anytime I see a detached pronoun, I will take it as a mubtada for our purpose. So huwa, I'm saying my mubtada, then what is my khabar? Then I'm seeing two words, Qur'anun Majidun, and right away I can tell this is a murakkab, mawsuf, sifa. Now the thing with murakkabat is that I'm going to keep them together. There's a link between them. I will not break them. So remember we said that either my word will be in the mubtada train or it will be in the khabar train. Since there was no link between huwa and Qur'anun, my mubtada train is just huwa. I put the word is after it, and then comes my khabar train. Qur'anun is my khabar, khabar mufrad, later noun, nakira noun, rough status. And Majidun is linked to it because it's its sifa. So Qur'anun khabar, Majidun sifa. It is a glorious Qur'an. Huwa mu'minun, again jumla ismiya. Huwa is mubtada, mu'minun is khabar mufrad, he is a believer. Hadha suratun. I should not get confused and think that this is a ism ishara musharun ilay construction as soon as I see an ism ishara, because for that the word sirat should have an al. It does not, so this is actually making a sentence. Hadha is my mubtada and siratun is my khabar, khabar mufrad. This is a path. Hadha siratun mustaqimun. So hadha again is my mubtada, siratun is my khabar mufrad, but mustaqimun is linked to it, so I will keep it in the khabar train. This is a straight path. Dhalikal kitabu. Now what about this? So there are two ways to look at it. Since I've taken it out of context, it's not in an ayah, it's so then I can think that this is probably an ism ishara musharun ilay construction, because that's what it looks like, that book. But when it is in an ayah, I will have to be a little bit more clever to analyze it. If after Zalikal Kitabu I can find a khabar, that book is some khabar about it, then this would be a construction. But what if this is the ayah, Zalikal Kitabu? Then there are two ways to look at it. Then you can maybe at some times assume that this is a sentence, because otherwise it would be incomplete. Then you can take it as Zalika is your mubtada and al-kitabu is the khabar mufrad. That is the book. So remember, there are two ways you can analyze it, that book, and maybe there's a khabar coming after it, or you can analyze it as a sentence, that is the book. Anan naba'il azimi, is this a sentence? Well, first let me rule out my murakkabat. An is a harf of jar. An-naba'i is its ism majroor. An-naba'i and al-azimi look like sifa mawsuf. So there are two constructions that are linked to each other. This is not a sentence, this is a murakkab. Regarding the great news. Adhaban kabiran, is this a sentence? Again, this looks like a mawsuf sifa. So no, it's just a murakkab. No mubtada khabar is being, I can see. So this is murakkab, a big punishment. Wal kitab al mubini, waw is harf of jar. I see al kitabi is ism majroor, al mubini is its sifa. So there are two constructions linked to each other, jar majroor construction and sifa mawsuf, by the clear book. How about huwa kitabun? Here I don't see a murakkab, no relationship between huwa and kitab as a murakkab. Huwa is mubtada, kitabun is khabar, khabar mufrad, simple, it is a book. Huwa rajulun, he is a man, sentence. Hadha kitabun, this is a book. Hadha mubtada, kitabun, khabar mufrad. Dhalika yawmun, again, dhalika mubtada, yawmun is khabar mufrad, that is a day. And then ar-rasulu mu'minun. Again, this looks like a sentence. Ar-rasulu mubtada, first noun, marifa, rough status. Mu'minun is my khabar, second noun. or later noun, I can say nakira and rough status. The messenger is a believer. وَامْرَأَةً مُؤْمِنَةً. Does this look like a sentence? For that, first let me rule out murakkabat. Well, waw looks like a harf of atf. It's not a harf of jar, because otherwise imra'at, it would have been imra'atin. So imra'atan and then mu'minatan is its sifa, a believing woman and a believing woman. Fi jannatin aliyatin, fi is harf of jar, jannatin is its ism majroor, and aliyatin is the sifa, in a high paradise. Again, this is not a sentence, it's a murakkab. Hiya hayyatun. Pronoun, I said for our purpose we'll take it as a mubtada, so this is a sentence. Jumla ismiya, hiya mubtada, hayyatun is the khabar. What type of khabar? Khabar mufrad. It is a snake. Hadihi naqatullahi. Again, hadihi and naqatu, no relationship, not forming a murakkab. This looks like a sentence. Hadihi is a mubtada, naqatu is the khabar mufrad, and lafzul jalala is its mudaf ilay. The constructions have to stay together. So naqatullahi stay in the khabar train, hadihi stays in the mubtada train, and I put an is between after hadihi. This is the she camel of Allah. Imra'ata Nuhin wa imra'ata Lutin. Imra'ata Nuhin is going to be the murakkab, idafa. Imra'ata mudaf, Nuhin mudaf ilay. The woman of Nuh, the wife of Nuh. Waw is harf of atf, because after that I'm not seeing an ism majroor. Imra'ata Lutin is going to be another idafa. So these are idafa, two idafas, there is no sentence here. Ayatan bayyinatan is a mawsuf sifa. Again, it's a murakkab, not a sentence, a clear ayah, evident ayah. Washamsi jar majroor, by the sun. Murakkab, not a sentence. Bintun mu'minatun, a believing girl, sifa mawsuf, not a sentence.